When Vivek Murthy was a child, he'd wake every morning filled with a deep sense of dread. He would get out of bed, get dressed, eat breakfast, and feel the tightness in his chest expand through his body as he sat in the back seat of his parents' car on the way to elementary school. I didn't want to be alone on the playground, Murthy says, or alone when they asked people to partner up in class on exercises. And I certainly dreaded walking into the cafeteria each day, not knowing if there would be somebody to sit next to. That pain ran deep, and that sense of deep loneliness stayed with me for many, many years. Murthy went on to study at Yale and Harvard, become a physician, and then become the first Surgeon General of the United States of Indian descent under Presidents Obama, Trump, and Biden. Murthy had a perfect, accomplished life from the outside. On the inside, he still felt lonely. Feeling socially connected isn't what's on your resume, says Murthy. It's about how you perceive yourself and how you measure the world, and if you tend to look more at the darkness or at the light. Murthy began to study loneliness, both his own and its greater social impacts. He found that loneliness was an epidemic, and not just in the United States. In my conversations with healthcare leaders from other countries, I really saw that many other nations were experiencing very high rates of loneliness. In his research, Murthy discovered that loneliness is less about being alone and more about feeling dissatisfied with the connections we have. When we are chronically lonely, over time we experience an erosion of self-esteem. We come to believe that we're lonely because we're not likable, we're broken in some way. We tend to become ashamed and turn inward. We also get sick. Research finds that loneliness actually activates the same brain networks as physical pain, and it can lead to weakened immune function, increased levels of inflammation, and an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, dementia, depression, and anxiety. But Murthy was most struck by the data on longevity. The degree to which our life is shortened is similar for loneliness as it is for smoking 15 cigarettes a day, he explains. These health effects are signals that our bodies send us when we're lacking something we need for survival. Healthy human connection. And in that sense, it's very similar to hunger, to thirst, says Murthy.